Hi all, I'm Kelly Nagel. This week on Here's the Problem, my Teen Think Tank Project co-founder Matthew DeSantis talks with one of our research associates, Jeremy Cimino. Jeremy is a junior at Archbishop Wood High School, a member of the NHS, the St. Thomas More Honors Program, and the TV Studio Performing Arts and Movie Club. Outside of school, Jeremy enjoys playing soccer, drawing, and competing in races such as 5Ks, half marathons, and Tough Mudders. One thing that Jeremy is exceptionally interested in is healthcare. In fact, Jeremy would like to become a nurse practitioner and diabetes educator. As a diabetic, Jeremy is passionate about the right to access affordable and quality care, a right that is elusive for millions of Americans. Imagine what it's like having to choose between affording your health care and other basic necessities. Jeremy and Matt talk about the devastating realities for people who are forced to make this exact choice, as well as the controversial topic of universal health care. It's a timely and important conversation given the world's experience with the COVID pandemic. I hope you enjoy the conversation.
Jeremy, welcome, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Matt?
Good. We learned about the A, B, and C's of Jeremy Cimino and your bio and your experiences as a honor student at Archbishop Wood High School. But more importantly, man, I got to know about your experience as a ACL surgery patient, man. How's the knee?
My knee is doing good. I'm actually currently bending it at 90 degrees right now, so it's going well.
I would probably violated at least 6 HIPAA violations by revealing that. We can certainly cut that out if you need to. But it was ACL surgery?
Yes, it was an ACL reconstruction surgery.
How did it happen?
I was playing soccer, and I just got subbed on, and I made a tackle, stood up, went to pivot, heard a snap in my leg, and just fell to the ground screaming.
Man.
No contact, just pivot.
Did you have to get carted off or?
Basically, my dad walked over and my coach helped me off because I wanted to get off so my team could play.
Yeah, sure. What? It's varsity club? Please just tell me it was.
It was club soccer.
Okay. All right. Just wasn't a pickup game in the local park. All right. Did you at least win the game?
No. We were losing terribly.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, insult to injury, literally.
Exactly.
But you're on the mend?
Yes. I'm doing my exercises every day, and I'm starting to improve.
And it's very fitting that we're tackling the subjects that we're tackling today. But how does rehab in a COVID world work?
Well, I'm not sure if this is just because of COVID, but what my doctor basically told me goes the first 3 weeks is just all you at home doing your own exercises. And then after those 3 weeks is when we send you to outpatient therapy where you do work with a physical therapist. So I'm not sure if that's just because of COVID or regular protocol, but that's how it's been so far. I've only seen my doctor once after surgery for a post-op appointment, and I've just been doing the rest on my own.
All right. Very good, man. Very good. Well, keep it up. I fortunately have not broken a major bone, torn a major ligament, have not had to have major surgery, but I'm at that point now where getting out of bed in the morning, I'm liable to dislocate a hip. So let's talk about your experiences that led you here. You talked about wanting to help people. You talked about wanting to help specifically children who are going through this. What was your experience like? How was that helped or hindered by the systems that are in place? Because that's my experience is that when people have a reaction, a visceral reaction that makes them say, I want to devote my life to this cause, to this issue, to this path, there's only one of two reasons why they head down that road is because they had a tremendously positive experience or they had a tremendously negative experience with the infrastructure surrounding that particular element that they had the connection with. Which is yours? did you have a positive experience with the system or a negative experience with the system when it came to treating you and access to care in general?
I would say definitely tremendously positive, mainly because what I know, at least what CHOP does, is that they call it T1 year one, so T1D for the first year, and you are given a diabetes educator, which basically teaches you everything you need to know about, from taking care of yourself to giving yourself a needle, basically all the simple stuff to all the major stuff, basically to keep yourself alive. And the second day I was in the hospital, mine walked in the room, introduced himself, and right away you just have to basically form a friendship with them, because they're the type of person that you trust in that sense of need, where you have a question where, do I do this or do I do this, or what do I do in this situation? Because there's so many new situations that you haven't experienced before. Like for me, as an athlete, I never exercised with an autoimmune disease such as type 1 diabetes, and it's so different. You have to eat all this food. You have to give less insulin. It's like a whole math equation you have to figure out, and they basically help you all through it. So forming that friendship with my diabetes educator throughout the whole year gave me that positive experience of him helping me to want to do the same for other people as well.
So from your experience in having lived through that, and then advancing through that system, advancing through the protocols that you were given access to, is that common, or is that a unique experience that you have that's above and beyond what a typical individual has access to?
I'm not 100% aware of what many others deal with when they are first diagnosed. I basically just know they go to the emergency room, and then they have a whole week of learning of what to do, because it's basically the first week you're in the hospital isn't because you're sick, it's because you're learning how to live the rest of your life, basically. So I'm not 100% sure of what access is that for others, but I feel like it would be close to normal for everybody in the beginning. But once that first week goes, there's definitely less access for many families that either don't have access to proper health insurance, or just access to the right amount of money to be able to afford their drug prices, such as insulin.
In your opinion, is our healthcare system in a good place to assist individuals who need the help of the healthcare system to literally survive?
I think people think it is structured to help the majority of people, but the majority isn't enough. We need to give access to anyone that needs it. And it can't be a question of whether I have enough money, or I have enough time, or I need to take another job to be able to afford this for my son or daughter. It should just be, we just got a burden that our family member was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. I need help, and the healthcare system should be able to give that help and say, these are the supplies you need, and we are able to give them to you without any worry of too much high costs or anything like that. So basically, it shouldn't be a question of if you're underinsured or if you can't even afford health insurance, because medical bills are one of the biggest things in America right now. So many people can't afford medical bills. So if we just change our healthcare system in a way to support that the minority that can't afford the healthcare that they need in order to live a healthy life, then that's what I think we need to do, because there's so many people in the world that have to live with things that they did not choose to deal with, or they didn't have any choice to deal with. And it's basically like they are to blame because they don't have enough money to deal with it.
That's one of the things I've never really understood about this debate. Put debate in quotes, right? of all the things people go to the mattresses to defend, all the things that they will literally fight over, both philosophically and physically, guns, abortion rights, rights to choose. God, I feel like I hear every day there's some nonsensical argument about something that people are talking about. And
the whole thing with mass has become a political thing.
Right. Right. And a lot of these people who are advancing these arguments don't even have a stake in the game. A Bible thumping preacher, male Bible thumping preacher from the South has a position on the women's rights to choose. Last time I checked, he wasn't a woman.
Exactly.
Shouldn't we leave that up to women? Yet, when it comes to this healthcare argument, everyone has a stake in the game. And to me, when an issue affects everyone, then it is by definition a basic human right.
Exactly.
Well, doesn't that make sense?
Exactly. It's a human right to be able to be given health care when you're not, because some people are given health care, but that's not proper health care, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, they're able to see a doctor, but that doctor may not be qualified to their needs and their illnesses that they deal with. So we need to be able to provide proper healthcare, not just healthcare, proper healthcare for everyone that is in need of it.
Matt, great conversation with Jeremy about access to care and the healthcare challenges so many Americans deal with within our current system. There's a lot to unpack around access to care and universal health care, as well as many more questions about the complexities of the issue and why a resolution still seems so out of reach. To explore the topic further and delve into the nuances of changing the healthcare system, I'll be talking to an expert in the field. Tune in next week as the conversation continues. For now, I'd like to thank Jeremy and my Teen Think Tank Project co-founder Matthew DeSantis for the engaging conversation. I'd also like to thank all those who made this podcast possible, our wonderful production team, the George Milton Group, and Winnie the Moog for our theme song. Most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the listener. Let us know you're listening. Subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, and follow the podcast at problem_pod. For more information on today's topic, or to find out more about social justice programming for exceptional teens, please follow the Teen Think Tank Project at teen_think tank, or visit us at teenthinktankproject.com. Until next week, I'm Kelly Nagel.